These are the musts. These are the musts. Okay? Absolutely.
When you say create a better offer, are you saying like for like your offer to your audience? Is that what you're saying?
Okay. Yes, and this is really important. That's a good question, and it's really important. Everything you do is an offer.
Okay.
Everything you do is an offer. Because you're in business, everything you do is an offer. Every time you step in somebody's presence and you start talking about real estate, you're making an offer. You're making an offer to either list their property or to serve them in some way. So we are in both the service and the product industry. So everything you do is an offer, and it's a different way of thinking, isn't it? So you have to remember that as you put yourself out there in the marketplace, it is an offer to serve someone. Okay? So you have to start always with their pain. Start with their pain. So let's say somebody wants to improve their business and they need coaching services. And right now they are having a problem with, give me some problems that people have with their businesses. Somebody shout a couple of problems. What's the problem?
Clientele.
They can't find clients, right? Yeah. What else?
Find clients, they're not qualified.
Okay, 7 ways to help you stop serving clients who are not qualified. That's their pain. Now, did you notice how that's not 7 ways to find clients? What's the problem? 7 ways real estate agent can stop being broke. That's the problem, okay? Give me some more problems. Who's got some other problems people have? If you're a doctor and you don't have enough patients, 7 ways to stop going to work and not having anything to do. Give me some issues. What's the problems? People who are doing things that have problems that need to be solved.
If you have a business, like keeping the cost of materials down?
Yeah. 7 ways to stop paying high price for materials. 3 ways to, what's the problem? Then it's the same position. Notice how it's a psychological thing. 6 ways to stop having heavy daycare expense and having to still deal with your children. It's just what is the problem? Identify the problem when you're making your offer, because that's what people are going to respond to. They're responding to the idea that you understand the problem. 6 ways to get your credit score, to stop having a bad credit score. And it's very difficult to turn that mindset around, but you need to deal with and address the problem and be very specific. Okay, so I think I overstated that. Give the solution. The solution should be found within the context of the problem, because you said 7 ways to avoid. So the solution is in that. There's an app out there, and I got to figure out where I put the app, but make it easy enough that, you know how they say a 5th grader? We've gone down. 3rd grader. Make it so simple. It's 3rd grader.
Yeah, they say the average person now reads at a 4th grade level when they graduate.
You got to make it as simple. You have to be, and you have to make it as simple and as easy. You know, so the challenge that I'm getting ready to draw for is make more offers, make better offers. How much more simple? A 3rd grader can understand that. Again, we got to make ourselves findable to the public. With your offer, it needs to be findable, so you cannot be a secret agent. You can't be a secret agent. There's a lot of feeling about putting myself out there. I don't really like to be seen. I don't know if I sound good on camera. I don't want anybody, I feel judged. My hair's not done. Or maybe I look fat, or maybe I look skinny, or, my teeth are crossed. I don't know. Whatever the problem is. Let me tell you something. Don't nobody care about what you look like for real. Do you know what do people care about? They care about themselves. Period. They care about themselves. I don't know who doesn't understand it, but we all have stuff that we're self-conscious about. So for me, as a little girl or as a young girl, I was self-conscious about my bow legs. I thought they looked crazy. I used to try to stay, I'm like, trying to turn them straight. I was so embarrassed. I tried to pull them in because they was like that. I was embarrassed about that. It was something that I was very self-conscious about. So I'd stand like this so people couldn't, any kind of way, you know. I was also self-conscious about when people looked at me. Like I was not comfortable. I didn't want to look at you in your eyes. I felt very uncomfortable as a kid. So you know what I do? I found myself, I had a habit. I'd go like this. Yeah, I'd have to touch my nose for whatever reason. It was some weird idiosyncrasy. We all have it. We all have it. You know, some people, if you notice that the only thing they do, this was my son, he always wore a hat. Period. He always wore a hat. I'm like, why are you wearing a hat all the time? I just like to wear a hat. He always had a hat on his head. Forever. But the reason why he had a hat on his head, which I didn't know, is because his hair was thinning and he was self-conscious because he had a head full of hair his whole life. But then he got on drugs and it started to fall out. And so now as a very young man, less than 31 years old, he had a big bald spot. And you know how I know? Because on his deathbed, I looked at his head. He had no hat on. And I didn't know he was bald because he always had a hat on. So people always have these idiosyncrasies. You got to get over that, and you need to make yourself. You are gifted. You are talented. You are amazing beyond what you know. This is everybody in here. Everybody's got it in them. You have to share your gifts. You're going to have to get over the feeling of not being adequate enough. We all feel it. Now let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about adding value. You know how we think we're adding value? If we shop you, find your house, and we're happy, we're adding value, right? No. If you want to be the agent where people call you no matter what, where people are reaching out to you, you know what my problem is right now is people think I'm too busy. I am, but they know it, right? They know I'm too busy. That's the first thing people call me and say. I know you're busy. Can I just have I know you're busy. That's what they say to me. So they think something about you, right? Now, if you want them to think exceedingly about you, like I'm not dealing with nobody else, period. There's only one person I'm gonna deal with. And I'll just wait till she's not busy. If you want that kind of client and you want them lined up so that you can do at least one a week, maybe two a week, maybe build a team, maybe create the geometry that I've talked to a lot of y'all about that is a real opportunity. If you want that, then you've got to give value times, not the value you think, the value they need times 500%. If you're not giving 500%, then you are already being beat out the marketplace. And it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be just the value.